Are you thinking of getting your child a smartphone for Christmas? Now, we are rapidly, as it always does, coming up to that time when we start to think about what we are getting our children for Christmas. And if your child is of a certain age, then there is a possibility that a smartphone is on the list. So in this video, I'm going to talk through some things to think about before getting your child a smartphone for Christmas. So the first thing I'm going to say that if you are doing that, or if your child already has a smartphone, then I would love for you to come along to my upcoming free webinar, Effectively Managing Your Child's Smartphone Use. In the 1 hour webinar, I'm going to be covering lots of tips and things to think about when it comes to your child having a smartphone and your involvement in that. So I will pop the link for that below so that you can register for that. It takes place on the 28th of November at 12 p.m. But if you can't make it along, register anyway and I will send you the recording. So, what to think about then if you're getting your child a smartphone for Christmas? Now, the first and possibly most obvious to some, but maybe not to others, is thinking about which phone to get. Now, if your child is anything like my children, the top of their list will be an iPhone. Of course, iPhones tend to be a lot more expensive than other forms of smartphone. So you need to be thinking about things like, are you prepared to maybe pay for insurance? If not, are you prepared for the fact that your child may lose their phone, break their phone, etc.? You're a parent already, so you know how easy it is for your child to lose and break things. So try and be sensible in your choice. This is their first smartphone. I know it's very tempting to go all out and give them the latest model of smartphone, but you don't have to. Let's ease them in gently and get them used to being in charge of something that is quite an expensive item. You know, it's really giving that child the ability to take that thing anywhere with them. And if you were going to give them a wad of money in an envelope and ask them to carry it around everywhere with them, would you trust them to do that? The second thing to then think about is how you are going to manage their smartphone use. So if you are gifting a smartphone for Christmas, I think it's really important as a parent that you state that actually what you're paying for as their Christmas present is their monthly billing, their contract, but the phone actually belongs to you and you have the ability to take that phone off them and be in control of that phone use. Because if you say to them, this is your phone, I'm giving this to you, this is yours forever to keep, then you are losing that control as a parent to be able to actively manage that phone, to, take it away from them when you think that it needs to be taken away from them, to take steps to make sure you have control, that you know their login details, all of that kind of thing. So make sure you have that conversation with your child and think about how you're going to word that it isn't just a case of you giving them a phone that is theirs and they can do whatever they want with, that you are still going to be in control of that phone. And actually the present is that you are giving them the ability to have a smartphone and that you are paying for that monthly contract. It's also really important that you educate yourself as to how to effectively manage their smartphone use from your smartphone. We really need to handhold our children when it comes to their first digital smartphone device. You are giving them a whole world of opportunity in that device and a whole world of things that can negatively impact them as well. So you need to make sure you're hand-holding them through that process, just as you would when they're a toddler getting out of the buggy. You're not just going to let them run all over the road. You're going to hold their hand while they learn how to navigate roads appropriately. So hand-holding is really important, and you can effectively manage their phone from your phone. Make sure you come along to the webinar I mentioned earlier, because I will talk more about that in that webinar. And finally, make sure your child is educated in digital well-being. Make sure you're having regular conversations about digital well-being, that you yourself are being a great digital well-being role model in how you use your own device, and that they have an understanding from them getting that first device as to the importance of digital well-being and the negative impact that phones can have on things like our sleep, our mental health, our focus and attention, and why it is important for you that they're not spending so much time on their phone. The more they're aware of this, the more it gives them the autonomy to manage their own phone use, rather than it becoming a point of conflict in your home. So I hope that's been useful. Of course, there's a very, very short and quick version of what will be a much bigger webinar on the 28th of November. So please do come along to learn how to effectively manage your child's smartphone use. Again, the link is below and I hope you can make it. But if you can't, I will send you over the recording. So please do register anyway, and hopefully I will see you then. Take care.